I've heard of birthright citizenship. This is girthright citizenship.
The Royal Caribbean built a treehouse on a cruise ship, and it costs more than your house.
Let's take the Walrus out of this whole equation for a second.
There is a beach bar serving rum at the foot of an active volcano.
Stewardess, I need a muddler.
That's how you get to be the top dog.
Woof woof, baby. Woof woof.
If you guys haven't been to a tropical island or a tropical location with Chantry, you gotta do it.
384692. And that is Paul Rudd's social security number.
All right, Chip, we're recording, man. Let's just get into it.
Oh, okay.
What up, Burnt Ones? This is the Sunburnt Podcast, where we talk about comedy and tropical travel. To my right, as always, the number one comedian in my heart, Philadelphia's own, Chip Chantry. You know him from Netflix, from his special Move Closer. Chipper, glad to be doing it with you today, buddy.
Right back at you. To this gentleman is the at you going to. That's the man to my left, Emmy award-winning producer and writer. He puts the ham in, sir, you're not allowed to eat a full Easter ham on the treadmill. We're going to have to ask you to leave. Mr. Thomas O'Brien.
Calories in, calories out, baby.
That's what they say. It's the flow of the world. Hakuna Matata, the circle of life.
He has risen. Was also the level of my cholesterol.
Yeah, he being the cholesterol. 238, I believe, is the number.
It's a high count, buddy.
It's a high count for a high holiday.
Whew. It sure is, dude. I hope everybody's Easter weekend, Passover celebrations, whatever you're into, hope it went great, baby.
Hope your Halloween was great if you're really just off on your calendar.
Salt and Straw, great ice cream shop here in Los Angeles area. I believe it started in Portland, but they have a flavor called the Great Candy Copia, Chip.
Oh, I think you've mentioned this before. Tell me, Is it just like a mismatch of all? Wait, what is it?
They make a bunch of homemade versions of like popular candy bars, and they just crush them into a vanilla ice cream. It is so good. And speaking of, you brought up Halloween. A while back, our refrigerator failed.
Okay.
So we got a new fridge.
By the way, just stop right there. This is we're barely starting the podcast, and you just mentioned Halloween, and I have to say our refrigerator just failed, and we got a new one. I have no idea where the story's going right now. I know it's Halloween adjacent, but I'm so excited.
Yeah.
It could be a haunted refrigerator.
It
could be a guy dressed as a refrigerator, and then it's he's like just joshing you because it's his masquerade costume. I'm so excited to hear where this goes. As a horror fan, as you are too. I'm so excited for the story. So go ahead.
The refrigerator went out. I had to move everything from the freezer into the garage freezer.
Okay.
And you know what? I never made the return trip until last week. And in my garage freezer, I realized I had 2 pints of the Great Candy Copia.
Oh, what a find.
Out of nowhere, I got to have a little Candy Copia this weekend. Just a little return to Halloween.
Literally Easter eggs that you found.
Oh, yeah.
Frozen little Easter eggs. That's amazing. I had, how you're just like walking down the street or somewhere and you just get a scent of something, an aroma.
Yeah.
It could be a good scent. It could be a bad scent, whatever. But it just reminds you of something. You're like, oh, hey, that reminds me of kindergarten. Something happened in kindergarten, and this smelled like this, and it's like paste or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I was walking down the street just the other day, and I smelled a scent, and I was like, wait, I love that. Whatever that is, it's that scent. And it took me to my childhood, and I was like, wait, what was that I just smelled? And whatever this was, I don't know what I was actually smelling, or having a stroke. It smelled like the inside of a Halloween bag. Like 3 days later, when like all of the candy, like in their separate wrappers, are just sitting in there marinating. So you got your Snickers, your Kit Kats, your Reese's, whatever. And then you just sort of smell the inside of your like, and that aroma of all of them colliding together. It creates a symphony of odor that is just beautiful. I think that's maybe we quit the podcast and we just figure out a way. We go in with Smirnoffers or whatever. What is the name of this place?
Salt and Straw.
That's what. Salt and Straw. I think we come up with a signature candle.
Yeah.
Like a Yankee candle that is trick or treat bag. That's what it's just called, and it's just all of these different things, pushing together. The the peppermint patties, the Butterfingers, and they all just, there's something about it that's just, with the wrappers in there, the little waxy wrappers. I think that's our number one seller right there. I think that's our first million right there.
I'll tell you what it is. You got to be Tootsie Roll forward, because that's really what's coming down the pike, because everything else is wrapped so well, but the Tootsie Roll has a little loose roll on it.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
And it really does overpower the rest of them. So it's just a little Tootsie forward.
A little Tootsie in the nostrils. I'm not disagreeing with you, Thomas. You are 100% correct with that. Yeah.
We've always talked about what kind of millionaires we wanted to be.
I think we're candy millionaires.
Up towards the top was cent-based millionaires.
Dollars and cents. That's what we're calling it.
We've got to make some more dollars. But to do that, we got to make sense.
Got to make sense.
All right. Enough of this, Chip. This is not tropical nor comedic. we gotta get into what the show is about, baby. And this episode is gonna be a friggin' heater.
Doozy.
Just like the tropical sun, we're coming in hot, Chip.
Yes, so hot I have to put it down for a second.
Let me tell you what we got coming up. Royal Caribbean built a treehouse on a cruise ship, and it is so expensive. So expensive.
Yeah.
The Olympics of Hula are shaking up Hilo.
Literally.
We've got a lesser-known classic, The Old Man and the Sea, kayak, and the 5,000-pound walrus.
Yep.
Martinique has a black sand beach at the foot of an active volcano, and the rum bars are directly adjacent, Chip.
Love it.
We got a 128-year breakfast food feud. Coachella starts this weekend, and you can watch 6 stages simultaneously for free, which raises the question, why go? We're going to stop into the Hypochondriac corner. We got a fish of the week. Harold is encased head to tail in a fused octagonal armor. He runs a harem on his reef and just oozes poison when he's annoyed. Then we're going to crack open the good book to hear about a hotel with too many pools and a wedding that only invited wet blankets. The Trouble in Paradise hotline is open. You can leave a voicemail at 310-845-6038. Any harrowing vacation story. We want to hear your worst one. If it's comedic, if it's awkward, if it's weird, leave us that one. And if we use your story on the podcast, we're going to send you, a nice Hawaiian tropic sheer touch. We're not talking about what SPF it might be. And speaking of, dude, let's just get into a slather, Chip. Let's kick this off.
Slather it up.
We're in the last days of chilliness around the States for some folks.
I'm so excited, man. I am so high of 50s today, high of 50s tomorrow, and then I think after that we could be cooking for a good long time.
Buddy, we're already cooking here, and let me tell you, it feels great. This weekend went to the beach for the first time this year. Got down to Manhattan, dude.
Yeah.
Plopped it right on the sand with the family, and it was perfect. I posted a little picture up on the Instagram.
Yeah, you did.
Rocking and rolling in Manhattan
Staying
Beach,
burnt.
dude. Staying burnt. It felt amazing. Slathered up. Dude, the baby's getting into slathering.
Love it.
Anybody who's tried to sunscreen a toddler, I think, knows my pain. And all of a sudden, I think it's because I do it with such joy. She's just like, she wants to apply 3-4 layers of sunscreen, even if we're not going outside.
There's the love of the game in there, and that's what's important.
Mm-hmm. And I think she knows there's a mental edge to staying tropical between the ears.
She knows it, just like our listeners do.
All right, everybody. This is the Sunburnt Podcast, where we talk about comedy, tropical travel. If you think those two things should go together, stay tuned. Front desk.
Hi, this is Mr. Chantry in room 308. There are 4 Easter eggs up here in various places around my room.
Mr. Chantry, once again.
You know what that means. Fiona only has found 11 eggs. That's pathetic.
Mr. Chantry, again, you cannot make the maid do an Easter egg hunt in your hotel room. Chip!
Thomas.
Dude, episode 57 of the Sunburnt Podcast, buddy. We are cruising.
The Heinz.
Dude, how was your weekend, man?
Dude, tropical adjacent. It was beautiful out.
I like that.
Shorts and a t-shirt on Saturday. Went to the Southeast Asian market for the first time.
That's where historically where you got a nice Hawaiian there last year.
Got a great, it's Cambodian officially, but yes, it was basically a Hawaiian.
An island shirt.
And beautiful. Great. It was beautiful. So we get to walk around there, just out in the sun, out and about. It was awesome. I put on about 30,000 steps the other day, which was great.
All right.
And then Easter Sunday, got to see the fam a little bit, and found some chocolatey chocolates. You know how that was. How about you?
I love it, dude. I mean, I told you, dude. I've been hitting the beach. I yesterday hit the zoo with my daughter, and it's just been perfect weather out here, buddy.
Would you say it was like? Was it a Zootopia?
She loves Zootopia, dude.
Yeah.
And at one point, we went and saw this bird show that they have there at the Los Angeles Zoo, and in the hype up period before it starts, when everybody's sitting there waiting for the stars to arrive,
Sure.
they started playing one of the songs from Zootopia, and my daughter lost her mind. She started screaming Zootopia. She's dancing in the stands. So much fun. But also, dude, just like a 3 sunscreen application trip out of doors. It was monumental. It was fabulous. And I'm loving every minute of this sun, Chip.
Plus, you got a bird show. Come on.
Yeah, it was a great bird show. We saw the fastest animal on the planet.
Which is what?
I forget the name of it, but it's a falcon. And it goes like 250 miles an hour or something like that. And they just like, they have this like, it looks like a mouse on a rope, basically, and this guy just like whips it around, and this falcon is so fast, it just darts this way, that way, and can catch the thing on the rope like in mid swing from coming from like up on this hill, and it just bombed down. It was very, very fast, dude.
Oh, you're talking about a mouse rope is what you're talking about.
I'm talking about a mouse rope.
Yeah, like just go down to Home Depot, get a mouse rope. Yeah, and like the guy ties the...
You play mouse rope with Franklin?
All the time. Swinging it around, just live mice. The cats are going nuts. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I love it, dude. Then we saw a big vulture. We also saw a California condor.
Wow. Those are very rare, right?
At one point, there was only 22 of them on the planet.
Yeah.
The conservation efforts at the Los Angeles Zoo alone have produced more and more condors to the point where there's at least 600.
They're doing their thing because you know about condors this time of year.
They're huge. And it was fun to see, dude. A lot of fun birds, some parrots. My daughter loved it.
Speaking of fathers and daughters and sons, I remember one time it was like my dad was in charge of us one night. Like my mom was out for some reason, and my dad went to this is way back when a video store was a big deal. Like I don't even know if I was probably in like 1st or 2nd grade. I don't even know if I had been to a video store yet, but it was just this hallowed ground that was right next to the grocery store that he managed, and so you could just bring these movies home. The Wizard of Oz, Raiders of the Lost Ark, these classics. And he got this lesser known, I want to say 1970s or early 80s Disney movie called Condor Man.
Oh, I completely unknown to this guy.
And he's basically just this guy that just wears this condor suit, I forget whatever, and he tries to fly around and like fight crime or whatever, but I think it's like a loopy comedy. But man, stinker of a movie. Even as a kid, I was like, what's happening here? What is going on?
Yeah, I mean, the fact there was no Condor Man 2 speaks to its unpopularity.
Unlike Zootopia.
Which broke records with Zootopia 2.
Of course, yeah.
Also, the little fox in Zootopia 2, he was a hustler, like kind of a criminal in Zootopia 1. Zootopia 2, he is now a detective. He works with the police instead of against the police, and he wears a Hawaiian,
like a good Private Eye kind of does, like a Magnum PI, if you will.
Exactly. And I haven't got to finish it yet because my daughter hasn't been in the mood to get all the way through it. But he does wear a Hawaiian, and there are some tropical elements, and I really do appreciate that. Speaking of a Hawaiian ship, any guess where I bought this bad boy? Take a look at the print. It's a nice, it got some pineapple. It's a nice blue. It's a nice white.
Is that a Ross Dress for Less?
Nope. Much more alphabetical.
Ooh. Much more alphabetical. Alphabetical. Boy, I have no idea. The ABC store.
That's the one.
There it is. See, I mean, it looks good. I mean, from afar here, it's. But I was just thinking that maybe you were trying to brag. But the ABC store. Was it on our last trip?
No. This is 2017.
Oh, that's a 2017. I should have known. That is a 2017 print right there.
And my wife has a matching dress. Yeah, they really have it all there, buddy. I know it's one of your favorites.
It is.
I was
if you ever get separated, they put you back together. It's kind of nice.
Yeah. Print matching is the new fingerprinting, but for couples. It lets outside parties know you're together.
I know we're starting a candle company where we make candles smelling like the inside of
Trick or treat bags.
Can we just open our franchise of an ABC store here? Like, would it go over in just, Los Angeles or Philadelphia? I guess it just doesn't have that luster if you're not right next to the beach.
Think about the retail scenario in Philadelphia. Like here in Los Angeles, this is a little weird.
Yes.
CVS's and stores that sell bits and bobs have a little bit of everything. I mean, they are keeping everything behind glass, and that kind of culture will not work for an ABC store. There's too much.
Yeah.
There's too much to unlock.
ABC with your eyes, not with your hands, is what you're saying.
The first retail store opened by your big brother. Yeah, buddy. I was looking through my Hawaiians last night. The collection is getting pretty robust. Yeah. And I saw this one. It's like, I haven't worn it for a while. And I don't think I've worn it since Chip knew what an ABC store was. Let's pop it on. And I'm glad I did.
Man, walking me down memory lane.
Remember just being being in Waikiki together?
Every day. I just saw there was one of these like dumb, I'm sure you get these lists like on Instagram or whatever where it's like the average person has only been to 4 of these places, and then it lists like 20 places and you count and you've been to 8, so you feel accomplished. You know? And but one of them was not just Hawaii but Waikiki Beach. And it's like, oh, I can now say that I've been there, and it just takes you to that, just sitting there staring at Diamond Head, floating in the ocean.
Oh, afloat, dude. Afloat. Yeah. We have like on our website, and I've been doing some maintenance, doing some work, some positioning work on our website. If you guys go to it, sunburntpodcast.com, you're greeted by a video we shot floating in Waikiki Bay. Yeah. Dude, it makes me so happy. Diamond Head's right in the background. We're just hanging out there.
Literally a sea turtle is swimming underneath us at that moment. Yeah.
Yeah, there's sea turtles out there, baby.
Yeah.
But no, we're going to have some news to share soon. Excited about like the upcoming In Paradise schedule where we'll be bringing comedy and podcasting to tropical locations, and we'd love for you to join us. But dude, I've just had my head in the tropics lately. I've had my head on vacation, man. We're doing a lot of work to get there and do those great things. It's so fun to do it with you, buddy.
It's your meditation.
If you guys haven't been to a tropical island or a tropical location with Chip Chantry, you got to do it.
It's a must-have. A must-do.
Let's get into the meat and potatoes this episode. It's time for the Algo.
For the Algo, serving our robot overlords.
Yeah, this is a segment where we talk about things in hopes that the robots will like us.
I like to think, like, when I picture AI and, like, these, what are the data centers and stuff like that?
Yeah, sure.
I do like to picture, like, one, like, Johnny Five, or let's just say, to bring it up to date a little bit more, Wall-E, you know, just like one of those little robot guys, and he's wearing a Hawaiian. Like, all the other robots, all business, but there's that one sweet robot who's wearing a Hawaiian. He's probably the robot janitor. He's sweeping up, you know. Yeah. And I think he sees us. He hears us. He's like, no, these guys need to be platformed.
Exactly. It's something I haven't seen lately. Like I was driving down, coming back from playing pickleball this weekend. Yeah. Driving down the road in Beverly Hills, and there was a sign. It was like for Al's mechanic shop or something like that.
I thought you were just going to say it was just for owls. Like owls. The bird. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a nighttime only shop, though. You know,
it is.
And oddly, you said that. Like, we record this wildly early West Coast time.
Yes.
And right before we started recording, an owl was really going nuts outside. I was like, this is a dead giveaway that I am up at the early hours.
The owls haven't even clocked out yet.
But anyway, there's a couple of different places that have owl in the name around, and all I see is AI. It just looks like AI, unless it's got that strong lower lip on the L.
The strong lower lip is a must these days.
Good when dating, good when picking a font. You know what I mean?
All of it. Yeah.
Back to the zoo really quick.
Yeah.
I wasn't wearing a Hawaiian. I was wearing a Thomas O'Brien's classic summer tank top. Nice. Out and about. Had on a Moana hat, tank top, this hair, this beard, and a woman walked up to me and said, "I want to give you a compliment." And I was like, "Okay." And she's like, "This is real." And I was like, "All right." And she said, "You look like the kind of guy that doesn't let things get him too down and has a pretty good attitude most of the time."
No.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Did you start screaming at her then? Be like, don't talk to me in front of my child like that? And then you just really just gave her the business?
Yeah, I don't talk to women who aren't my wife in front of my daughter.
No.
I think that would be a bad example.
I think the best thing you could have done is thrown a tantrum right then and there.
Yeah, so I berated her, but inside I was like, oh, that's kind of the vibe I'm going for.
See, that's the thing, man. I put on a Hawaiian the other day. We walked down to the diner. And it was my first like outdoor Hawaiian of the year.
And you're hammered, right? You've had 2 cocktails at home, 1 cocktail in your hand.
So many. And no, I'm just walking through wearing, and just the smiles, the disarming effect that it has. Everybody needs to do it. And it's like you were able to wear Hawaiian, but you have your tank top on. You have you're feeling good.
You talk about these canned cocktails.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of a dive into the Cutwater Mai Tais.
Yes.
And found out that each can is the equivalent of about 2.5 normal drinks.
Oh, that's what we were drinking, Thomas, in Hawaii, because we had.
Yeah.
It was Cutwater. That's the brand, right, that they have at the ABC store.
It's a great canned Mai Tai. If you're going canned Mai Tais, I can't think of anything that could touch it. But the alcohol content was what shocked me.
It's wild.
I assumed it was closer to 1 cocktail, maybe a beer and a half. 2.5 drinks.
Yeah, as canned cocktails become more prolific,
as they become more prophylactic.
Here's what you need to worry about, people. Canned cocktails, a lot of them, not the seltzers necessarily. Seltzers, they're watered down.
Not a cocktail.
The canned cocktails, it's not generally one. It's not 1-to-1. There's generally 2 cocktails at least inside 1 can, so just be careful.
Have you looked at the content of the canned cocktails you've been imbibing in recently?
Oh yeah, no, the top dogs that we drink, they are 2 cocktails worth.
That's how you get to be the top dog.
Woof woof, baby, woof woof. But no, that's the thing. You can dump it into. I dump it into a solo cup. Okay.
Yeah.
On ice, on the rocks, and it fits. So it's basically 1 solo cup worth. Because it's a can, and it's 2 in 1. It's 2 drinks in 1, basically. But I drink that, and that's all I have for the evening. And if I have that for the evening, I'm done, feeling good, and I can still function. But it's like I just got 2 drinks in me pretty quickly, and then I'm good for the rest of the day. The rest of the evening, I should say. So the rest of the day. Sounds like I'm drinking them at 10 a.m. This is at dinner time.
Yeah, one canned cocktail won't do a Chip Chantry whole day of drinking.
No.
That's a mid to late evening tide over. But that's what you like. You like 1 quick spike and then ride it out?
I mean, not quick spike. It's not like I'm downing it, but we'll take a walk and sip around, whatever. You get a little buzz. The buzz lasts about an hour or whatever. You're just like, yep. And then by the time it's over, it's like 7 p.m. and you're like, all right, I'm ready to maybe do a couple things, get ready for bed before I walk the dog and stuff like that. It's just like you're back to your life then. It's just there's something about the happy hour or the cocktail hour that's a little classier.
Yeah.
I think, and it's just
it's definitely classier than morning drinking in the city.
Really is. It really is. Yeah. That is 100% true.
The canned ones, there's something about them coming out of a can that makes them go down a little faster, at least in my experience.
Because you're not when you are given a Mai Tai, let's say, and a Mai Tai is even a stretch, because a Mai Tai is like a special thing. There's usually maybe some garnishes or what have you, an umbrella, where you order a 7 and 7, Thomas, or a Jack and Coke, whatever. Even with that, at the lowest end bar, or even if you make it yourself, there's a little pageantry to it. I think it's about the pageantry. And you have this drink and you're like, I need to make this last just a little bit. And there's no pageantry in a can. You just dump the can out and you drink it on down.
The pageantry.
Here's what we need to do. Okay. Scented candles like the inside of trick-or-treat bags.
Yeah. Yep.
ABC stores on the East Coast. I think there was something else we were going to do. Here's my next business plan.
All right.
We supply, whether we come up with our own canned beverage or just a supplemental package that is like the garnish or a little accoutrement for the canned cocktail to make it something special. So instead of just getting a Cutwater Mai Tai, which is again, like you said, a fine drink. We love drinking them sitting on our balconies, sitting on our balcony in front of the ocean. But what if there's like a little package that you get that with a little umbrella? With maybe like a little freeze-dried lemon that you just drop in or something like that. To make it feel like it's a little special
Yeah.
And then you're drinking it with a little bit more pizzazz.
I really like that. There used to be these kits that you could buy for flights to make old fashions out of like a shot of whiskey. And it would just be like powdered bitters and a little bit of like fruit concentrate or whatever.
I like
pour
that.
it in a glass and then pour that on top, and then you got the whole thing right there. I'm sure they still exist. I think they used to be at like maybe one like Hudson News or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
I haven't seen them in a while, but I was like, that's a pretty interesting idea if you're looking for an elevated cocktail on an airplane.
By the way, that now makes sense that you say that product is out there. That the last time I flew, I did hear a number of people on my flight yell the words, "Stewardess, I need a muddler." So
yeah.
I guess maybe that's okay. All right, that makes sense now.
That's it. Well, all right, buddy. We got to get back into the algo.
Let's do it.
All right, for the algo, here we go. Number one story. Chip, the Royal Caribbean built a treehouse on a cruise ship, and it costs more than your house.
It's so expensive. It's. Do you want to share, and then we'll get into it a little bit?
The Royal Caribbean's Hero of the Seas, the fourth Icon class ship. We've talked about Icon class before.
Yeah.
Launched a suite called the Ultimate Family Treehouse, and it is exactly what it sounds like. Yep. The suite spans 3 full decks, Chip. This is a triple decker all in itself. It sleeps 12, like an average family.
Yeah.
And includes a rooftop terrace, a private whirlpool, and a dedicated teen hideout room.
Now, you said rooftop terrace.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you. I think you kind of coughed or something like that. It sounded like there was a rooftop Terrence. Like there's just a man named Terrence who is there.
It's actually Terrence Howard.
It is. Okay. Mm-hmm. Just reminding you to wash your hands.
Yeah. It's one of those bathroom guys, except he does not accept not being tipped.
Oh, okay.
If you want to use soap, you have to go through him. And if you go through him, you got to pay up.
By the way, I don't know if we've talked about this before, but this is getting a little bit into Hypochondriac Corner. Mm-hmm. A number of years ago, I don't think it's there anymore, but in Philadelphia, in this one neighborhood in Philadelphia, there was a PSA billboard, like a full-size billboard.
Yeah.
I have a photo of it somewhere, and it literally had a picture of Terrence Howard on it, the actor, and it said, Terrence, and this is pre-pandemic. Mm-hmm. It said, a Terrence Howard reminder, you got to wash those hands. That is 100% real. That was a billboard that was in the city of Philadelphia about 10 to 15 years ago. With a picture of him smiling, and it just said a Terrence Howard reminder, you got to wash those hands.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah. Yes. I'm putting this at about 2010.
Oh, man.
So anyway, the rooftop Terrence is there.
The rooftop terrace. Anna Terrence.
I just brought Terrence Howard into the whole situation.
We'll get back into it. So the bookings for this treehouse experience started April 1st, 2026.
Not a great time to launch a new venture.
A super expensive, kind of out there venture. Mm-hmm. A lot of people thought it was a joke.
Yep.
But apparently, man, people are booking this bad boy. The starting price... The baseline price for this, room is $200,000 per week for 2 people, Chip. I think the price might go up as you add more people on, because it kind of listed it as 200 people 2 people can accommodate up to 12.
Right.
And this is not a gimmick that's one-off. It is a trend. Cruise lines are in a full sprint towards ultra luxury, and this is just a big jump in the cruise line space race.
Yeah, they've seen the numbers. They have seen income inequality. They know what they need to go after.
So, dude, to break down the numbers a little bit, $200,000 divided by 7 nights. That is it's $28,571 per night, Chip.
So 30 grand a night almost. You figure with the gratuity and all that stuff. Yeah. 30 G's a night. Yeah.
If you split that among 12 guests, that brings the per week per person. This is where you start to make your money back. You bring 12 people, and they keep it at that $200,000 rate, assuming it doesn't go up.
Sure.
That leaves you with $16,666 per person per week.
Okay.
To put this into terms everybody might be able to understand, the average American, or no, the median American household income is right around $80,000 a year. Meaning this 1 week of travel cost approximately 2.5 years of the average family's earnings before taxes.
Yeah. The thing that they don't tell you about this treehouse is that it was literally built over a weekend by 4 10-year-old boys.
The O'Malley twins got their hands on it.
Yeah, there's just up there's a hatch door, a fake fireplace, and a couple of nudie magazines.
It's like any tree house I was aware of.
Yep.
Growing up, there is a nudie magazine area.
The first time I saw a child smoke a cigarette was in a treehouse. Nothing good ever happens in treehouses.
But you were in these cheap bottom of the barrel treehouses, Chip. $200,000.
Yes, I was in Philadelphia adjacent treehouses. Not exactly the high seas.
And one more comparison. An actual luxury treehouse resort in Costa Rica runs $1,500 per night.
Oh, man.
This specific room is putting a 19x premium on having this treehouse be over the water. I bet it's super cool. Sure. I bet it would be amazing, but like that price point is just hard for an average person to wrap their mind around, dude.
No. Yeah. That number's too big for me to comprehend.
To finish the story off, everyone here at the Sunburnt Podcast would like to wish the Swiss money laundering family Robinson a wonderful trip on their treehouse at sea.
It's like Titanic meets Ozark.
Oh, that it really is.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, buddy. Next story, man. This one's fun. Okay. Dude, the Super Bowl of Hula Dance starts today, and you can stream the whole thing online.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah, I mean,
why are we doing this podcast right now? That's what I want.
Well, we're recording this podcast a little earlier than it starts. It starts on Thursday.
Okay,
but
okay. That's
Hawaii,
right. We teleport.
Exactly. Hawaii Magazine is reporting that the 63rd annual Merry Monarch Festival is running right now in Hilo, Hawaii. It's the premier hula competition and cultural celebration in the state. There are 3 days of competition, including the Miss Aloha Hula, which is today, Thursday, the Kaliko division on Friday, and the Awana division on Saturday. The stream is going to be available in 2 languages, English and native Hawaiian dialect.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, they're keeping it very real. Like the whole thing is like a cultural celebration. Obviously, it's the hula and some of the added elements, and like very important for them to keep that language alive. So I think it's pretty significant in that technology lets them like kind of broadcast that out, and it's going to be broadcast on Hawaii News Now.
Okay.
So the competition's going to be there, and you can just check it out. So like, yeah, dude, let's get our eyes on it. I think it's pretty cool. Like something that's a competition like that that's so intricately judged and so has such specific criteria. It's like, I don't know, man. Like I could, I went through my F1 phase where I got really into the ins and outs of driving cars very well. During the Winter Olympics, I like that ice skating and that ice dancing. I'll watch that. Gymnastics has its own like special criteria that you can get really into, dude. I think this is probably one of those, and I imagine the commentary on these things would really key you into a lot of the specifics of what makes one hula potentially better than another.
Right, and because that's what always gets me. It's like sometimes like with like when you see somebody, again, gymnastics or maybe let's say Olympic diving.
Yeah.
I don't know how they see what happens so quickly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Right.
Yeah.
And so I love hearing people break that down as to like, wait, did something, what's the nuance here? And I think you're going to get some nuance with the hula with the hula dancing.
Yeah, and like every time you can go to like a luau or whatever, and they will give you some broad strokes of what the hula means culturally, I guess.
Right.
But never have I seen anything that's like, this is what's good hula. This is like
right.
What makes somebody potentially better than another. It can get a little weird when you're judging art always, but I don't know. I'm going to check it out, buddy.
I'm in too. I'm in.
And you are pretty light on your feet, Chip. Everybody knows you're a little bit of a twinkle toes. If you were going to enter a dance competition that was going to be broadcast all over the whole world, what style of dance you think you're going with, buddy?
Oh, it's hula, 100%.
Really?
Yeah, I think with my supple hips, maybe okay. I will say I think there's always something. My mom grew up. I probably said this before, but my mom grew up
clogging, right?
Clogging, a lot of clogging everywhere, just clogging. That's mostly
toilets.
Mostly toilets. But I grew up like just in the background. There was always like a Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Yeah.
Musical, or like just like some Broadway musical, to, South Pacific, Oklahoma, or whatever. And I was just always under the impression that sailors in the Navy always knew how to tap dance.
Oh, yeah.
I just assumed that when you joined the Navy, they taught you basic knot tying and how to swab decks, and then intensive tap dancing. Because whenever I would see sailors on my television, they would always be tap dancing.
Yeah.
I think being a tap dancing sailor, I would. I'd like the challenge. I think I could learn.
Yeah, it turns out it's not a big part of the gig, dude.
It's very little. Could you imagine, like, signing up and turning over 4 years of your life to that, realizing you're not getting a single dance lesson?
Or really even a dance partner. It's tough to find on one of them ships. Somebody who wants to really cut a rug.
Cut a rug.
I don't even know if they have rugs on ships.
They would get so wet. They would get so wet all the time.
Yeah. All right, dude. Now we're going to a colder climate, Chip.
Yes, we are.
We're heading to Norway, where a 74-year-old got body slammed by a 5,000-pound walrus and survived. Can you even imagine?
No. Being 74? No, I can't. Just even that. Just if you just said, hey, there's a 74-year-old man, you're like, wow. Okay, and see if you get past that. And now he's in a kayak. And then you're like, okay, I have to get that. Now he's in Norway. And then a 5,000-pound walrus.
Dude, listen to this. There's some wild stuff that's happening here. Okay. Outside Online is reporting that a 74-year-old was kayaking in Norway last year when a walrus capsized his kayak. The walrus in question weighed up to 5,000 pounds. That's roughly the weight of a full-size pickup truck, deciding you don't belong in its fjord.
It's like a fjord F-150, if you will.
Oh, it really is. Ralph was part of a 2-week Arctic cruise with his wife. So here's the thing, like, you can cruise two ways. It's like really warm or really cold. He went really cold, and he was wearing a dry suit in 30-degree Fahrenheit air when the encounter went sideways. Svalbard, where the incident happened, whose name literally translates to the cold coast, has a government regulation requiring residents to be in good enough health to live there, Chip.
I've heard of birthright citizenship. This is girthright citizenship right
It's
here.
girthright citizenship. Yeah, you can't stay there if you thick around that center, dude.
No. Wow.
For people who aren't big walrus heads, walruses have 3-foot tusks, are known to brawl with polar bears, and apparently have zero patience for retired kayakers who left their blinkers on a little too long.
Let's take the walrus out of this whole equation for a second.
Let's do it.
I've done a little kayaking in my day. Like, not a lot, but I've been on some kayaks. You know, like the river kayaks, the long ones that really feel like a tube? They're very, like, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. There was a commercial on TV. I don't even know what it was for. It was for like chewing gum, or it was something fun when I was a very kid. And there was a kayak, and the kayaker would do the thing where he does like the barrel roll, you know, where he like goes underwater and then comes back. And I remember being so incensed by that as a very small child, so scared of it. And so like, why would you, who is this person that would put themselves in danger like this? Of what if it, because then my head goes to, what if it gets stuck upside down and you're just stuck in there upside down?
Yeah.
And then that's what happens. And there's always been something to me that hits me with kayaks. Whenever I see that, I always think of that little thing, of that guy rolling over in that little commercial and being like, oh, you could try. Not even thinking that maybe there's a walrus underneath there. Just
Oh,
waiting
did he?
to go.
Yeah, he might have been double dipping. Well, let me set your little mind at ease, Chip.
Okay.
The roll is the first thing you have to learn when you start kayaking.
Okay. All right.
Because if you roll over and like a lot of times you got the skirt over the top, you're really locked in there.
That's what I mean. Right.
And you can't just roll it back over.
Yeah.
You do a little thing we call drowned.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So like
that's the next step.
That's the next step. So you've got to be so comfortable doing that little flip maneuver, and you do a whole thing with the paddle and whatever, that like your lower level river kayaker should be able to do that pretty easily, or else they're in a pretty dangerous spot, I think.
Yeah, that's what like how many a year kayaks are just found upside down, okay, around the world.
It's sad.
You
That's
just see,
sad.
oh, it just comes floating down. Oh, there's an upside down kayak.
Yeah.
I hope nothing's on the bottom side of that, right?
I know. Well, yeah, you don't want to find that upside down kayak.
But let's get now. Let's get the whole kayak thing. Just imagine you're enjoying your golden years with your wife or whatever. You're 74. You're just like, hey, it's chilly out here, but this is fun. And then all of a sudden, a 5,000-pound walrus just goes attacked you.
It's wild, dude.
Do you think he's like, as he's getting mauled, or at least just like
tusked
by this walrus, do you think his wife was just yelling, "We should have gone to the Dominican"?
Oh, buddy.
That's what I would have yelled, I think.
Like, not only am I freezing my tits off,
Yes.
but you just got chomped by a walrus. Ralph survived a 5,000-pound walrus attack at 74, an age where most guys can be easily taken out by a slippery bathtub. So this guy's name is Ralph. Hats off to you, Ralph. And gosh dang it, like Chip's saying, next time, just go to the Caymans, dude.
Come on, guys.
I think warm weather must calm these walruses down, because I've never heard of a walrus attack in the Cayman Islands.
No, it's because the Cayman Island walruses are so chill, and they're just having a great time, doing the limbo, having a Mai Tai, enjoying themselves. They don't have time to attack kayakers.
That Jimmy Buffett mentality. It's like, I'm really going to waste part of my vacation attacking a kayaker? Come on.
No,
really?
thank you. Yeah.
Really? Dude, this one's fun. There is a beach bar serving rum at the foot of an active volcano, and people are calling it a vacation.
Again, hey, maybe it's this guy, this 74-year-old is like, all right, let me go. I got attacked by a walrus.
Yeah.
I need to go somewhere warm
Uh-huh.
and chill. I got an idea. The foot of an active volcano.
Still a little dangerous, dude. And this is wild because this is set in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
I'm very used to there being volcanoes in Hawaii, but I just don't think of it that much.
Yeah.
The Caribbean Journal is reporting that the small coastal town of Le Coeur Bay on the French Caribbean island of Martinique has long curves of black sand on the Caribbean coast and features world-renowned beach bars, rum distilleries, and calm waters. Dude, this place sounds unbelievable, but we do know where black sand comes from. That is volcanic rock that's broken down to become sand.
Yeah.
The town has a signature drink, Chip. Don't you love it when places have a signature drink?
Love it.
This one's not messing around. It's called Thai Punch. And it's a tropical punch, but they ain't going sweet on you, buddy. It's literally just high-end rum that they make there on the island at their distilleries, a little bit of sugarcane syrup,
Okay.
and 1 coin of lime. That's it, dude. This thing is just rum, a little hit of sweet, and a little hit of citrus, dude.
That's my type of drink right there. A rum punch.
Yeah, it's a rum, but it's just it's supposedly very rugged. It's not on the sweet side at all.
I love that.
It's often served with akris, which is a savory, crispy fritter. And it's almost always accompanies this Thai punch. That's how they do it there. And based on the location, you may need to drink several rounds of Thai punches before you stop looking over your shoulder, because Mount Pelée An active volcano is visible from nearly everywhere in town.
Just there to remind you.
Just meaning that, like, from every beach chair, you're also included with a geological reminder that fire could rain from the tropical sky any minute, Chip.
At any time. And I think that, to a certain extent, I think that makes a vacation better because you're like, this could literally be my last day.
Exactly.
Let me enjoy it. Just imagine if Diamond Head, okay, for example, was an active volcano. Just imagine. Yeah. And you're just floating in the ocean or wherever, and then all of a sudden that smoke starts pouring out. Yeah. I mean, I think I would enjoy every moment just a little bit more. I think, here's the thing. Going to be honest with you, Martiniquers. Yeah. I don't know if that's even a real volcano. If I were them, I would just like paint a background like a tunnel through a wall, like a Wile E. Coyote situation,
like a Broadway backdrop, like a South Pacific landscape in the back there.
Exactly. That just shows a giant volcano in the background to make you feel like you're in imminent danger, just to make you enjoy the moment a little bit more.
Live each day as if you're last. Really, like, soak up every minute. And I think, people do feel some pressure to do that on vacation. But wow, what if there was no time to feel and there was just time to know this could all be over any minute?
Okay, here we go, Thomas. Candles that taste like trick-or-treat bags, ABC stores on the East Coast. There was a third one that I can't remember. It was a great business plan that we had. The packets that apparently are already made, but the packets that you make, the little thing for the drinks, for the canned drinks. And then now I think backdrops for vacations.
Mortality reminder backdrops.
Yeah, like what if it's more of like maybe there's some like a giant robot or a Godzilla kind of creature in the background.
A little harder to be scary when totally static, but maybe if we get a video element to it, who knows?
You shake it a little bit, I think. I think you're fine.
Just shaking it a little bit's the answer to most of life's problems.
Like a Polaroid picture.
I love that each drink comes with a coin of lime, Chip.
Yes.
There's a day coming up near and dear to my heart. April 16th is a national holiday that is largely spurred on by hollandaise sauce.
It is.
The National Day calendar is reporting that April 16th is National Eggs Benedict Day.
I have not shoved my poached egg into an envelope and sent it to you yet. I have to get that in the mail. April 16th is fast approaching.
There is still maybe 7 or 8 shipping days left for you to get your Eggs Benedict to your loved ones.
Yes.
But Chip, do you remember, when we were in Las Vegas, I don't remember if we had breakfast together. We may have stayed up too late and had breakfast at night.
We had late night egg sandwiches.
Night egg sandwiches. So my favorite breakfast on the planet is in Sin City, baby. It's in Las Vegas. It's at the Henry restaurant inside of Cosmo, where we did have egg sandwiches on a higher level. Back when they used to serve egg sandwiches in the middle of the night, it was from Egg Slut, where you and I ate.
That's where it was, yep.
In subsequent trips, I've realized they are shutting that bad boy down pretty early in the evening compared to... I just remember us, really getting around of...
much-needed egg sandwiches in our bellies, yes.
At about 2:30, 3 o'clock, after you'd played the Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club.
Yes.
At the Henry, at the Cosmo, they have a short rib Benedict. And it's my favorite breakfast on the whole planet, dude. It's they got the egg, they got the hollandaise sauce, but it's on top of delicious short rib, which is on top of a hash brown. Not an English muffin, a hash brown. It's this really, really great play. They have a Henry here in Los Angeles. They do not have, I don't know if it's the same restaurant or not. I think it is. I think it is probably the same restaurant, just much different menus. They don't have it here.
It's, I believe if I'm correct, it's just a house where a guy named Henry lives, and you just keep going there in the morning demanding breakfast, high-end breakfast, which seems a little, I would be off-put if I were Henry.
Well, I mean, that's the Los Angeles one, yeah. But the one in Las Vegas is definitely, it's right
there.
That's
the true to form, sure.
Back to Eggs Benedict. So there's some controversy here, Chip.
Okay.
The dish dates back to 1898.
Wow.
With competing origin stories. Delmonico's restaurant claims it, and the Waldorf Hotel claims it. And both parties have been warring ever since. This is a beef that's lasted 128 years.
But luckily, it's a beef covered in some delicious hollandaise sauce.
Ooh, if it's the short rib, it certainly is a beef covered in delicious hollandaise sauce. How do you feel about hollandaise sauce, Chip?
It's fine. I'm not a big saucy, creamy guy.
You don't like cheese. You don't like saucy,
cheese,
creamy.
like sour, the cream. I can deal with a little hollandaise sauce. I've had an Eggs Benedict. I've enjoyed it. But it's not like, I don't seek it out. I will say that. But the ones that you're describing sound pretty good. But a hollandaise is good. There's a little sweet, little tang to it. So I'll take it. I like it.
My mother's big request for Mother's Day, we do breakfast in bed every year. Eggs Benedict. That's what she wanted. She wanted that hollandaise sauce on some eggs on an English muffin.
Not to blow up your spot or anything like that. So please, and you can edit this out, but that is a difficult day for you for the Mother's Day because you have to make with a hollandaise sauce and breakfast in bed. Your parents and I believe grandparents and 3 aunts and uncles, they all sleep in one bed, just like Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, right?
Yeah.
So you have to deliver the hollandaise sauce to each of those people sitting. It's kind of like head to foot, back and forth. So that's got to be a lot of hollandaise sauce in that bed of 8 or 9 people.
Yeah. They sleep head to foot, crack to crack.
Right.
But it's a California king.
That's plenty of room.
Yeah. And if anybody passes away, a California condor comes in and picks that carcass clean. It's a real California experience.
Did I just come up with the worst reality competition show of all time?
In the bed?
It's just 8 elderly people in a bed.
Yeah.
And then you see who lasts the longest.
Yeah.
I think, again, we're just $1 billion idea after another this episode.
Chip, you're really cooking today. What's the name of that show?
That's a good one. Any ideas from your end?
All right, who peed my bed?
I think that could be it. Yeah, that might be.
Head to foot, crack to crack is also a second dairy name option.
Yeah. So you think you can nap?
So you think you can nap?
Yeah.
It sounds like a good show, dude. It sounds like a good show.
It'd be very slow moving.
Speaking of world-class entertainment, Coachella's coming up, buddy.
Have you ever been, Thomas?
No, I've never been. I want to ask you a little bit about your concert going past, Chip, in a second, but just going to get this out of the way. Coachella starts this weekend, and you can watch the whole thing for freezies, which raises the question, do you need to go?
As Eddie Vedder once said, why go?
Coachella 2026 kicks off in Indio, California this weekend, and the full streaming guide is already circulating for a majority of people who are not attending. YouTube alone ran 6 simultaneous broadcast channels in previous years during Coachella weekend. Multiple stages at once, commercial-free and HD, Chip.
Love it. Love it.
The festival's official stream runs across YouTube, Twitch, and potentially TikTok. No wristband, no $18 water, no bathroom emergencies.
No.
The audience for the free stream historically dwarfs in-person attendance. Coachella fits roughly 125,000 people per week. The YouTube stream pulls in millions of concert viewers simultaneously. So they've made it so easy to watch for free. Obviously, you're going for the experience, but from where I'm sitting, this is largely an age-based issue. There was a time in my life where I was like, if I can get the time off, I'm going to Coachella.
Sure.
And now I feel differently.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, how old were you the last time going to a Coachella-like music festival seemed like the move for you?
Literally never.
Never? Okay, yeah, that's fair.
There was a time where the band Fish, who is a jam band I've seen 20 plus times over the years, mostly when I was in high school, college, and just out of college.
Yeah.
But I've had friends who've seen them hundreds of times.
Yeah.
But they would do these 3-day, and they actually, I think down in Mexico they still do them, but they would do these 3-day festivals on an air base up in an old air base up in Maine, or down in the Everglades, or just in the middle of nowhere for these 3-day hippie whatever. And I had friends who went there, and I just couldn't go, but I was like, oh, that sounds awesome. But then just all the stuff around it.
Yeah.
Like you said, the bathrooms, sleeping in tents, the traffic getting in and out. is crazy. If I want to see a concert, like go see the concert and then go home, sleep in your own bed. That's my speed. That's my speed.
That works. Also, these streams are pretty good, man. You got a nice system. You got a nice system bumping.
You feel like you're there. Get a big screen TV, set them up.
You're drinking a Cutwater cocktail?
It's too late now, I guess, but I think next year we do a watch party, a Coachella watch party.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get Cutwater a sponsor. Be like, look, we're not going. We're just going to sit in our respective homes and watch it together. Have a little watch party. I think that's what we do.
Our feet in little kiddie pools in our living rooms, just going ham. I love it, buddy.
Right.
That's it for the Algo. We are moving on to the Hypochondriac Corner, Chip. Just a quick little hit. Do you have anything for the Hypochondriac Corner?
The only thing I have is, I do apologize. I feel fine, but I think it's allergy season. That voice is starting to go a little bit. So I'll sound a little hoarse probably for the next few weeks because that's the way it is.
Yeah, and you think maybe it's polio?
Yes, just a little, just a touch of polio.
A touch of Marco Polio.
Marco Polio. My only real hypochondriac corner this week was that my lovely wife had a little incident yesterday. She's doing some exercise. She hurt her leg. She ended up hurting her calf muscle really bad. Thought it could have been maybe the Achilles.
The Achilles. That's the biggest scare, dude.
Yeah. So we ended up having to go to the emergency room.
Yeah.
And man, it's just, there's something about an emergency room where you're just in there and you're just looking around to see who is diseased, who is not. It's always, this is the sad part. It's always reassuring when you see a woman who's like moaning 2 chairs down and you're like, but rough. Then she reveals that she's holding like an ice pack on her arm and you're like, okay, a broken wrist is not contagious. So you feel, okay, so you kind of survey the scene for a while, and you're like, all right, what am I in here for?
You separate it into Whoopsies and The Walking Dead.
Yes. And so you'd hope that those people are hopefully ushered away into their own space.
Yeah.
But, you never know. Yeah, so, it made me a little nervous, but I felt strong. I was like, I'm here. We can do this. And
it helps when you're there for somebody else, when you got to be strong for your wife.
Well, I will say, actually, in full disclosure, I did abandon her at one point.
Okay.
Because
all right.
they took her back.
Yeah.
And I went back with her to the intake thing, and they're like, okay, we're going to take you to a special room now. Another waiting room. They're like, unfortunately, sir, you can't go with her. There's not enough room. And I was like, okay, I'll just wait. And then I said, oh, hey, I'm going to go wait outside because it's like, I'm just going to stand right outside the door, get some fresh air. It's nice out. Whatever, so I'm not taking up a seat in the emergency room, but I'll be right outside. And then I was waiting for a while, and I realized this emergency room, we're in South Philly. It's literally 2 blocks from our home.
Right.
And I text her at one point, and she's fine. She's, her leg hurts, but she's okay. And I texted her. I was like, hey, we're texting back and forth. And at one point I said, hey, it was getting a little chilly because the sun was going down. I was like, I'm going to run back to the house and get my jacket and then come back. Can I get you anything? She's like, why don't you she's like, it's going to be a while. Why don't you just stay home and I'll text you when I'm done? And then I ran back when I was done because it's literally 2 blocks away. So it's like, why the difference between standing outside or it's literally she got out and I ran over and helped her home. So that was, but I didn't have to breathe in the emergency room then. So that's my little hypochondriac corner.
Why help out your wife when you can watch 2.5 episodes of I Think You Should Leave?
Exactly.
Got to get that time going, dude. Well, my hypochondriac corner moment, you're never going to believe it, circles around the award-winning, huge hit, The Pitt.
Okay, yep.
And this one has your name written all over it, Chip. It was like a real, get this. A young man comes in with his mother into The Pitt. He has asthma. But because of some paperwork nonsense, the family got kicked off of Medicaid. So they haven't been able to afford his asthma medication. And this guy is just huffing and puffing on, I don't even know what it is, some kind of like, I guess, black market weak sauce inhaler situation that's not the right deal. Sure. And he just can't get any air in. He is huffing and puffing. He has fear in his eyes. The mother's freaking out. She's like, it's never been this bad. He's had asthma his whole life, but like it's just like we can't afford his medication anymore. Normally, if he has a big episode, we can use this stopgap, but like we're in over our head. He can't breathe, and they're like checking him out. They're taking him in, and they give him all of the stuff that you're supposed to get. He gets like an EpiPen. He gets, whatever albuterol, whatever's supposed to go in to make the asthma stop.
Right.
And none of it is working, Chip. And I guess like when somebody has severe asthma reaction, I forget the statistic, but it's just like it can be, you can cause permanent damage.
Okay.
By intubating, by putting in a tube down the throat. And I think that maybe even death like results in a large portion of outcomes.
Imagine, yeah.
If you're doing the intubation. So they're about to do it because he is dying. And then a night doctor who clocked in a little early, or like it's right at the it goes, no, we can't do that. He does another test and realizes what the young man has is a collapsed lung, Chip. It has nothing to do with the asthma. And what he has to do is he cuts an incision in the man's chest between the ribs and just pops a finger in there and goes, flips the switch. It starts working again, and the guy's okay.
Look at that.
It was very stressful, man. What do you do? It just makes you think, like, what would happen if I can't breathe? And then when I found out it was the collapsed lung, I remembered your collapsed lung, Chip.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
Ooh, what a wild ride, dude. We need that air to breathe, baby.
You don't know what's going on inside. They had the wrong thing. That could have been disastrous if they put that little thing down. But all he had to do was flip the switch. I like how he has a little switch in his chest. That's my favorite part.
I didn't like that you had to access it by cutting a hole through the rib cage.
That's what they did with me. It was just a very small hole. A small hole.
Oh, did they? They had to go inside?
Yeah, they had, I mean, it was literally like sitting there. It wasn't like a procedure. It was a procedure, but it wasn't like I was literally just sitting up in the emergency room, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to do this thing," and he like somehow like it was a very small one, and he like burrows this little hole, like this tube in through like between like two ribs, and then that tube is hooked to a little machine that's basically a vacuum, and it sucks the air out of your chest cavity so that your lungs can then inflate.
Good God. Does that just prove to me I don't know how lungs work or anything else really in the human body? I'm terrified of all of it. I understand zero of it.
I was hooked up to that machine for like 48 hours where it slowly sucks the air because somehow air gets inside the chest cavity. So then on the outside of the lungs, so then the lungs can't open because there's too much pressure. So you have to suck that pressure out so then the lungs can open up.
Why's there got to be so much pressure in modern life, Chip?
You know what I want to be, by the way? Okay, I'm going to say this right now.
Yeah.
Forget the trick-or-treat candle. Forget the ABC store on the East Coast. Forget all that stuff. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to get my degree. I'm going to become, what you just said, a night doctor.
Yeah.
I think I want to be a night doctor. But that has to be a special degree that you get.
Yeah.
It's like being a dentist or a foot doctor or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. You're a doctor of the night.
You're a doctor of the night. Man, just the business cards alone.
I mean, you don't need a degree to get a business card, Chip.
Dr. Chantry, night doctor.
Night Dr. Chantry.
I think that's what I'm going to do.
Oh, would that be in the running if you were an adult film star for your performance name? Night Doctor?
Night Doctor? Oh, 100%. That's top of the list.
Yeah, it sounds like a romantic specialist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, that's it for the Hypochondriac Corner. Now we're heading to Fish of the Week.
Fish of the Week.
Chip, tell us who our saltwater superstar is this week.
I'm so excited. I want to introduce everybody. Just look at him right here. This is Howard, the spotted boxfish. Okay?
Come on, Howard. Woo!
And yes, I know what you're asking. He is of the Connecticut boxfishes.
Oh, that's a blue blood.
That is a blue blood, although you won't actually find him in Connecticut anymore. You're going to find Howard in the reefs of the South Pacific, Indian Ocean, but the last time I saw Howard, he was in the South Pacific. Howard's 7 inches long, which is respectable.
Yeah, it's very respectable.
Very respectable.
Ask a night doctor.
He kind of is a night doctor. I will say that. Howard is kind of a night doctor of the ocean. But why is he called a boxfish, Thomas? Do you want to know?
Because he comes in convenient packaging?
As a matter of fact, he does. He has what we call a carapace. There's a vocab word today. carapace. Let's say it all together.
Carapace.
A carapace. I've never heard this word before. Now I know. A carapace is a hard exoskeleton like a turtle shell or a crab. You know, the crab has the exoskeleton, or the sarcasm of a stand-up comedian. It's just a protective, defensive layer to keep all that gooey stuff safe inside.
But he's a fish.
So it's literally like a box. He is shaped like a little cube. This boxy carapace has openings, so it's this beautiful box, and he has openings for his eyes, his mouth, his gills, his fins, and his tail that they just sort of stick out of this like box structure. It's like when a little kid goes trick-or-treating as a robot, but it's basically just a big box with some tinfoil on it, and he can't really move, and he like falls over, and he's just done.
So this fish looks like he had no parental help with his costume.
None, okay? So he can't move quickly. He just propels his body with his little... It's kind of like the Gerald, our last guy.
Yeah.
He couldn't really move his tail too well. Same thing with Howard.
The filefish.
He just has his little pectoral fins that he like just sort of doggy paddles out like with his little jazz hands. Like that's all he's just doing right there. Howard may be shaped like an ottoman, but he is a breathtaking beauty.
Oh, I mean, this is a good-looking fish.
He's got yellow spot and white spots on the top. He's got orange and yellow spots on his sides. And he's got blue spots everywhere else. And do I mean everywhere?
Woo!
Okay. Howard hit puberty and just went full peacock. Okay. Now, here's the thing. It's Howard's special. He's a man. He's got a little privilege. Okay.
Yeah.
The female boxfish and the juvenile boxfish, they're dark brown with just white stripes. They're very, or white dots. They're very muted, okay? It's for their protection. It's kind of like a cardinal. When you see like a cardinal bird, like the big, beautiful red cardinal is always the male. The female cardinal is usually a little, not quite as, they keep it a little down.
They play it down. Downplay it.
So they're downplayed, but the men are the ones that are peacocking. They're just he's dressed like he's going to Burning Man. Okay, so
oh yeah, dude.
He's just a little floating Rubik's Cube out there with all these beautiful colors.
He's a 9th degree wizard, baby.
He really is. So he's not very nimble in this beautiful box that he's got on.
Yeah.
But I will say, don't mess with him, Thomas. Don't mess with Howard, because if he senses trouble, he starts to ooze. He just starts oozing out from his skin that just will mess with predators. Just this toxin that just comes out, and they're just like, stay away from this dude.
Oh, my gosh.
It's kind of like when that kid who's trick-or-treating in the robot costume has to pee but can't get out of it and just pees his robot costume.
Yeah, you're not going to mess with that kid.
Let's just keep away. That's what Howard does. Okay?
Oh, Howard. God bless you.
Here's my favorite thing that he does, though. This is my favorite thing that Howard does. Because he's got these protective things. He's got the ooze, right? Again, he can't move very well, but he does have the protective shell. He's usually hanging out in the reefs, okay?
Yeah.
Let's say he detects trouble. He might ooze, or if he has enough time, he can find a little crevice in an ooze, like a little, like back alleyway.
Yeah.
He'll go inside and hide in the reef. But here's what he does. And apparently, I guess a lot of fish do. When a fish will do that, they might just go hide inside the reef, or like, in like a little crevice. What he does is the boxfish, they do this thing where they go in and then they pivot. They turn around and they look out from their little crevice to watch whatever danger is happening out there. So they're just like eyes out watching. Instead of just going in and hiding, they just turn around and watch. It's kind of like you, Thomas. Like you do this. You know how when you're walking home to your house at night and you encounter some youths on the street?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this is bad news. And you're like running with your groceries and you run inside your house and you lock the door and then you just stare outside the blinds for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, you got to.
That's what Howard does whenever he is in trouble.
Howard, I can relate, buddy. That's the way you do it.
He just loves sticking out his head out of that little back alley and watching the trouble.
Howard likes to watch.
You say that, unfortunately, because of this, Howard has recently been questioned by police for some alleged peeping Tom activity.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's why we haven't really been to locate Howard for the last few weeks. He's keeping a low profile in his beautiful, colorful boxy shell.
Sometimes the most beautiful packages are the scariest weirdos inside, Chip.
Don't you and I know it. But Thomas, that is Howard, our fish of the week. the spotted boxfish.
Congratulations on being fish of the week. We hope, everything resolves accordingly. But,
Sure.
God, I love to celebrate Howard, but then I think about the victims,
Exactly.
Well, that's it for Fish of the Week.
Fish of the week.
Our hero of the deep.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, next, Chip, we're just keeping on moving. It's time to get into the good book.
The good book.
What did you bring to the party today, Chip?
My record this week, Thomas, August 27th, 2011.
Wow, going back.
In Jaworzno, Poland. You know Jaworzno, Poland. You summer.
Yeah, it's my favorite part of Poland.
Yeah.
Jaworzno.
303 people attended the wedding of Iwa Stronska and Paweł Borkowski.
It's a big wedding, Chip.
303 people. And let me tell you, Thomas, there was not a dry eye in the house.
Big emotional event.
Because this is the world's largest underwater wedding.
What?
Underwater wedding.
300 plus people underwater wedding.
303 friends, family members, and scuba enthusiasts joined this happy couple to watch them take the plunge. Literally.
What does this mean, underwater wedding? What does this mean?
They were in this like diving center, which almost seemed like a lake kind of situation in Poland, but it's like 4 scuba divers to like go dive down and do their thing, right?
Okay.
303 people donned their finest tanks and flippers.
Oh my God. They're going out tanks and flippers.
Scubaed on down.
Wow.
Where they met with a priest. Like literally, it was an 18-minute ceremony performed by Father Paweł Robel. You ready for this one? A local priest and licensed frogman.
I love the combo, dude.
He's a priest and a licensed frogman, which I think being a frogman is fun. It's actually, by the way, unfortunately, a licensed frogman is somebody who knows how to scuba. I just love it. One of the few things that I cannot do in this life, I'm not allowed to scuba dive
because of the lung.
Because of the collapsed lung. They told me that's one of the things you can't do, is you can't scuba dive. So I will never be a licensed
frogman.
But hey, what are you going to do?
Can you snorkel, Chip?
I can snorkel. I'm allowed to snorkel.
We got to make up the difference then. We'll snorkel soon.
Thank you. And so the 18-minute ceremony was communicated by these like signs and also different types of sign language that they use.
That's kind of cute. Yeah.
Because they can't be doing the talking.
Yeah.
So here we go. Let me just bang down the details real quickly. Okay.
Bang it out.
And my thoughts on this there's 303 people, the world's largest underwater wedding in 2011. I've heard of destination weddings, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
The ceremony was great, but the reception was terrible. The buffet was awful, and 3 people drowned during the maid of honor speech. Okay, the honeymoon coupled in the Mariana Trench. Hey, come on! This is the first time for a wedding night a couple had to wear rubbers. All right, hey, all right, good. All right, the dress code was hypothermia casual, which is a fun time to do. The something blue for the bride was her grandmother at the end of the ceremony. The couple was registered at Red Lobster. And in 2019, only 6 people attended their underwater divorce. And that is the record for the world's largest underwater wedding.
And I hope they watched out to make sure that Howard wasn't there on their wedding night.
Just creeping in.
Just creeping in the room.
Watching
peeping.
From the alleyway.
Oh, dude. Well, that's wild, man. That's a huge underwater wedding. What a weird, wild endeavor.
It really is. Huzzah to them.
Huzzah to them. Congratulations.
What do you got, Thomas? What's your record?
It starts with the question, Chip. How many swimming pools did your house have growing up?
0.
That's very quaint.
Yes.
Keeping that in mind, I want you, what an average family has pool-wise. I want you to guess how many pools it took to be crowned with the Guinness World Record for most swimming pools in a single resort.
In a single resort?
Mm-hmm. How many individual swimming pools does this one world record winning resort have?
I'm going to say 10.
We're a little shy, Chip. That's a great guess, but we're a little shy. Chip, it's 643 pools. 643.
What?
The Lexus Hibiscus Port Dixon has 643 swimming pools, and each one meets Guinness's minimum size requirements. And Chip, each villa has its own private pool.
Wow.
This is not a resort. This is a water park that got a little too serious about having rooms in it.
It really did, yes.
Dude, the Lexus Hibixus Port Dixon, that's a mouthful, buddy.
Where is this?
It's in Malaysia.
Okay.
So it holds the record for most swimming pools with 643, each exceeding the minimum size of 1.5 meters by 2 meters.
Wow.
The Guinness officials had to go verify every single one of those 643 pools. Make sure it met the requirements.
Right.
If you spent just 30 minutes in each pool, it would take you over 13 full days, nonstop, no sleeping, to swim in every pool in the resort. You would be just a pruny little raisin chip.
Yeah, you would.
Port Dixon is beloved Malaysian beach destination known as PD locally.
Okay.
The Lexus Hibiscus was built to be the undisputed jewel of the coastline. They apparently decided most luxurious and most pools are essentially the same goal.
Yeah, go for it.
And that's it, man. That's the record for the most pools in any resort.
600 plus. That's crazy.
That's it for the good book. Good for you, Malaysia. Just a reminder, Trouble in Paradise hotline is open. You can leave us a voicemail at 310-845-6038. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We really love that you do it. We love doing this show. We can't wait to make some announcements about some tropical trips we're going on that you will be invited on as well soon. But this has been the Sunburnt Podcast, where we talk about comedy and tropical travel. Until next time, stay burnt. Front desk.
Hi, this is Mr. Chantry in room 308. There are 4 Easter eggs up here in various places around my room.
Mr. Chantry, once again.
You know what that means. Fiona only has found 11 eggs. That's pathetic.
Mr. Chantry, again, you cannot make the maid do an Easter egg hunt in your hotel room.